Facing Shen Shitao's enquiry, Yangkai only vaguely explained that Xianyu was an old acquaintance. Even if she had her doubts, Shen Shitao wasn't silly enough to interrogate him further. On the other hand, Yang Yan's pair of beautiful eyes stared at Xianyu thoughtfully. Shen Shitao and the others may not be clear about Yang Kai's origins, but Yang Yan was. Yang Kai had come from the outside world, and wasn't even a native of Shadowed Star, yet now he had said this woman was actually an old acquaintance. Did that mean that this Saint King one-layer woman also came from the outside world? Little did she expect that Xianyu not only came from the outside world but even from the same place as Yang Kai. After the host and guests were seated, Shen Shitao immediately began to ask Shen Fanlei where he had gone and why he was out so late. Shen Fanlei's face turned bright red and he immediately turned to Yang Kai for help, really not sure how to explain himself. He couldn't exactly tell his big sister that while feeling bored tonight, he had decided to come over and invite Yang Kai to a brothel. If he were to really tell the truth, receiving a reprimand would be unavoidable. Seeing Shen Fanlei clam up so awkwardly, Shen Shitao seemed to guess something and turned to look at Yang Kai with a smile. Little brother Yang, where did you and Fanlei go tonight? And why is there a somewhat obscene scent lingering from you? Yang Kai glanced over at Shen Fanlei, saw him silently begging him not to say anything, and smiled bitterly. Brother Shen, if none of the twists and turns of tonight had happened, staying silent would be fine, but after such a big commotion, trying to hide things is probably impossible. You should just tell the truth. Hearing this, Shen Fanlei's head immediately drooped. After hesitating for a while, he gritted his teeth and explained what happened tonight. After hearing that they really had gone to a pleasure house, Shen Shitao's pretty face froze over, but once she learned about all the twists and turns her little brother and Yang Kai experienced, as well as how Wang Yuhan had been creating trouble from the shadows, she couldn't help feeling startled. After learning about the hidden dangers of the dual cultivation technique of Joyous Union Pavilion from Yang Kai, her beautiful face lost all color and she hurriedly asked, Fanlei, you didn't really? Shen Fanlei waved his hands frantically. No. Thanks to Brother Yang's warning, I only had a little talk about life with that girl. Besides that, nothing else happened. Hearing this, Bu Ying couldn't stop herself from giggling, and even Shen Shitao, who was still quite annoyed and worried, had a hard time stifling her laughter. Entering such an establishment and paying a great sum of money yet not actually engaging in the act and instead discussing life with the young woman accompanying him, it was likely only Shen Fanlei had ever done such a thing. The girl who accompanied Shen Fanlei was probably completely confused even now. However, hearing that events had played out like this, Shen Shitao was finally able to relax. After pondering for a while, her beautiful eyes flashed as she said, in short, the reason Fanlei decided to go to that kind of place was that Wang Yuhan's unintentionally mentioned it. And you brought little brother Yang along just to give you a bit more courage. I don't know if he had mentioned it unintentionally, but Wang Yuhan arriving at Joyous Union Pavilion in advance and targeting and obstructing me at every turn is definitely true, Yang Kai said lightly. Shen Shitao's face changed slightly as she thought out loud, Wang Yuhan should have a good understanding of Fanlei's character, and also know what kind of effect his words would have. It seems that his ultimate goal was little brother Yang, while Fanlei was just a pawn. How hateful to deal with little brother Yang. He didn't even care about ruining Fanlei's future. What kind of senior brother is he? If he had really succeeded, wouldn't Fanlei have been unable to advance a single step further? Wang Yuhan's actions this time had touched Shen Shitao's reverse scale, causing her to become livid as a cold light flashed across her eyes. Fanlei, don't have any dealings with him in the future. After returning to Extreme Path Sect, you must also report this matter to your master. I still have to tell master about going to Joyous Union Pavilion. Shen Fanlei hesitated suddenly. Naturally, you must explain everything to him. Or what, you don't want to? If you don't want to, I'll come with you to Extreme Path Sect and tell him myself. Shen Shitao narrowed her eyes as she glared at her little brother. Shen Fanlei didn't dare to refuse and could only helplessly nod. After this incident came to light, even if Wang Yuhan wasn't expelled from Extreme Path sect, a heavy punishment would be unavoidable. However, the former was far more likely. Xianxia remained angry for a while before suddenly remembering something, shedding her annoyed expression, and bowing to Yang Kai elegantly. This time it was fortunate little brother Yang was around, otherwise, that bastard's plot might have succeeded. This young lady offers her sincerest thanks. Yang Kai simply waved his hand and said, "It was likely I who implicated Brother Shen in this matter. It's not his fault." Yes, since things have reached this point, there's nothing more to say about this incident, but I should inform Sister Shen about a certain matter. What matter? Please speak freely, little brother Yang. Yang Kai flipped his hand and suddenly a piece of dried up dead wood appeared on his palm. This piece of wood was completely black and did not have any distinctive smell or aura to it, as if it was just an ordinary piece of dead wood one could find anywhere. Does Sister Shen know what this thing is? Yang Kai asked. This is. Xianxia frowned as she observed this piece of dead wood hesitantly, as if she recognized it but couldn't put a name to it. Isn't this beast attracting incense? Shen Fanlei called out in surprise. It seems that Brother Shen recognizes this, so you should also know where it came from, yes? Yang Kai looked at him. Yes, I used this kind of thing with Senior Brother Wang before to lure out monster beasts that were good at concealing themselves. It is quite useful actually. As long as one burns a small portion of it, it can attract any nearby monster beasts. It's odorless and we cultivators can't detect any aura from it though, Shen Fanlei explained. It turns out Brother Yang also has this kind of beast attracting incense on him. Oh, it looks like it's already been burnt slightly. Where did Brother Yang obtain it? I picked it up in Grand Burial Valley, next to the Thunder Pond. Yang Kai smiled slightly. Shen Fanlei wore an expression of surprise, but Xianxia's eyes flashed a thoughtful light, her expression soon changing to one of shock as she stared at Yang Kai. Actually, this thing wasn't found by me, but by Yang Yan. When she was collecting the thunder liquid, she accidentally discovered it. If it wasn't for Yang Yan having a broad knowledge of strange items, she might have missed it. Yang Kai handed the beast-attracting incense over to Xianxia before turning to Shen Fanlei and asking, Brother Shen, it's not that I wish to come off overly suspicious and pessimistic, but I have to ask whether your senior brother Wang visited that Thunder Pond before? Little brother Yang's meaning is. Xianxia narrowed her eyes sharply. Since Sister Shen already understands, why bother asking? Yang Kai smiled faintly. Xianxia gently nodded before turning to her little brother. Fanlei, has Wang Yuhan been to that Thunder Pond before? Yes, he has. A few years ago, he accompanied another senior brother there. That senior brother also cultivated the same secret art as I and at that time wanted to use the Thunder Pond to achieve a breakthrough. It was because of that previous experience that senior brother Wang proposed we go there for my breakthrough. Shen Fanlei scratched his head in confusion. Why? What's the problem? Xianxia ground her teeth in anger as she muttered in a cold voice, it seems falling into distress at the Thunder Pond this time was something Wang Yuhan plotted from the beginning. It can't be, Shen Fanlei exclaimed. Why would senior brother Wang do that? If Brother Yang hadn't arrived in time, he would probably have lost his life. Xianxia shook her head. I don't know the specific situation, but if I were to guess, when Wang Yuhan went to the Thunder Pond a few years ago, he should have discovered that Silver Knight Thunder Beast as a peak 8th order monster beast. You must have noticed that Silver Knight Thunder Beast had only reached the 9th order recently. This was something Wang Yuhan didn't anticipate, which caused us to fall into such a dangerous situation. As for why he did all this, probably to create a dangerous situation he could take advantage of to play the hero rescuing a beauty and win her heart, Yang Kai chuckled, finishing off what Xianxia didn't say. Xianxia's face turned red before shooting a glare towards Yang Kai, but she didn't try to deny his assertion, obviously agreeing with his guess. Hearing all this, Shen Fanlei wore a look of pure shock, murmuring out loud, how could senior brother Wang do this? The danger at the Thunder Pond, the incident at Joyous Union Pavilion, all of it had been the result of Wang Yuhan scheming, something that Shen Fanlei found difficult to accept for a while. Fanlei, you have too little experience in the real world and aren't able to recognize the true nature of others, so it's understandable you are deceived. However, in the future, you must think more deeply about such matters. This time you were fortunate enough to meet a noble person like little brother Yang, but next time, your luck might not be so good, Xianxia warned her naive little brother sincerely. Shen Fanlei nodded subconsciously. While Xianxia educated Shen Fanlei, Jiang Kai kept silent. In fact, he had not planned on exposing this beast attracting incense at first. After all, Wang Yuhan taking such actions were simply because he was desperate to pursue this beauty, so it wasn't as if he had malicious intentions. But what happened tonight had made Yang Kai extremely unhappy, so he wasn't going to be polite with Wang Yuhan anymore. Yang Kai didn't mind trampling over this petty and narrow-minded man. With something like this having happened, Xianxia didn't have the mood to stay any longer, so she took Lu Ying and Shen Fanlei and left Floating Snow Moon Pavilion to return to their own loft, preparing to thoroughly discipline Shen Fanlei. After they left, Yang Kai turned to Qianyu and said, "Have a rest here for now, it will be 2 days before we leave." He then introduced Yang Yan and Qianyu to each other. After learning that Qianyu was actually from the same star as Yang Kai, Yang Yan was also taken aback and became quite curious about the circumstances behind this situation. When facing Xianxia, Yang Yan's attitude was neither hot nor cold, but when facing Qianyu, a woman she had just met, she was actually quite friendly and enthusiastically invited her back to her room. Qianyu happened to want to ask about Yang Kai's situation as well, so she naturally didn't refuse. Exhausted from all the unexpected twists and turns he had to deal with tonight, Yang Kai retired to his room alone to rest. For the next 2 days, Yang Kai stayed inside the Floating Snow Moon Pavilion, spending his time meditating whereas the relationship between Qianyu and Yang Yan seemed to become much more harmonious. It wasn't until midday of the 3rd day that one of the maidservants of Flying Spirit Palace came to report that Xianxia and the others had come to see him. Yang Kai heard this and immediately sent a divine sense message to Qianyu and Yang Yan, gathering with them before proceeding downstairs. To be continued.